Welcome to Scotting Movies. Have you ever watched a movie where it looks so good? Uh, Everything is just beautiful, gorgeously, elegantly, ridiculously smooth that you actually forget that you're not watching much of a story. Uh, you realize that nothing's really happening, but wow, it's not happening beautifully. That's the kind of movie we're talking about today. It's called Tequila Sunrise. That's the movie that we're going to review today. So let's talk about the synopsis of this movie. It sounds like there's a lot going on. So, uh, Tequila Sunrise stars Mel Gibson as Del McKussic, who's a former drug dealer trying to go straight. His old buddy, Nick, is played by Kurt Russell, and he's a narcotics cop keeping tabs on him, partly for the job and partly out of some kind of unresolved friendship guilt. Also caught in the middle is Jo Ann, a restaurant owner played by Michelle Pfeiffer, who finds herself the subject of both men's attention and suspicion. It's a love triangle, it's a crime thriller, it's moody, and above all, it's gorgeous. So that's where we're going to start is cinematography. Let's say it that every single frame of this film is stunning. It's the cinematography is by Conrad L. Hull, and for those of you who are not cinematography buffs or movie buffs, he is one of the best to ever hold a camera. It doesn't just look good; it looks expensive. I mean, every shot it looks like it's been filtered through some kind of California sunset. There's reds, oranges, and purples that bathe everything that's going on. It's like it's someone smeared it in tequila and neon across the lens. And it's not just postcard pretty though. It's sneaky. The camera goes around corners very sneakily and underneath obstacles and over things, kind of as though it's creeping in on conversations, and it makes it bring out that noir that's kind of part of this movie. It's there's this whole voyeuristic feel to the movie that kind of pulls you in. Even when the story stumbles, the visuals really seduce. It's a fantastic camera work. It's so beautiful. It's like sometimes it feels like the job of the cinematographer Conrad Al Hall was to go out and film sunsets and sunrises in Los Angeles and around the beaches and things like that, because they use so much of them, and they use the actors against the backdrops of the cinematography, and it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. Let's talk about the cast for a second. Mel Gibson. This is peak late 80s charisma that he has here. He plays Mac with just enough inner conflict to make you root for him, even though you're not really sure if he's actually reformed all the way, or if he's just really good at pretending. He's really good. He has that draw to him that you like his character, even when sometimes you think maybe you shouldn't, because he's just that good at drawing you into his performance and to his character and rooting for him. Kurt Russell, though, might actually steal this movie. His take on Nick is a cocktail of ego, loyalty, maybe some lingering, I don't know, something friendship wise for Mac. There's this tension that never really fully resolves, but it always simmers just beneath the surface. He's he has a lot of tension underneath him, both for the job as well as for this girl that he just fell in love with, as well as a few other things in his life that he's trying to sort out or to really rein in. He's really good in this movie as well. You don't root for his character as much. That's not what the script calls for, because you're rooting for the other guy, Mel Gibson. But Kurt Russell is really good in this movie. And then Michelle Pfeiffer. She has played in three different movies this year. All three could have been Oscar nominated for her. She was in Dangerous Liaisons, which we'll talk about in a couple of films here. I'm not exactly sure when we'll talk about, but we'll get to it. She was in Married to the Mob, which she was fantastic in, and she was in this one. She doesn't just play the love interest to two different men. She owns every scene she's in. She's smart, composed, completely in control, even when she's being manipulated. Uh, Michelle Pfeiffer plays her with the sharp intelligence and elegance that cuts through everything going on. Uh, you believe that both men are drawn to her, not just because she's gorgeous, but also because she doesn't need either of them. You believe that. You believe that she could be uh, perfectly fine on her own because she's strong, she's smart, she's independent. Uh, Even though both of these guys are in love with her, she doesn't need either one of them, and that's kind of rare, especially for a movie of this era in the late '80s. Here's the issue, though. When it comes down to it, once you get past the aesthetics and the acting, the story is just eh. Um, the central twist of the movie is the kind that you saw 15 minutes into the movie. At least I did. Uh, I was like, up, this is what's going to happen, XYZ, and the movie unfolds XYZ. It's exactly the way that you would think about it coming. Maybe I've seen too many movies. Maybe I don't know. There's a lot of movies that are just there's only so many characters that are in a movie that you have to get one of them is the bad guy, and so you have to pick that one out. Um, the whole who's playing who game never really takes off. Just because the movie tips its hand too early, because you know who's playing who. There's no tension. There's just sitting there, waiting for the characters in the movie to figure out what you already know. While Raul Julia is a phenomenal actor, his character, this opera obsessed philosophical Mexican official, feels like he wandered in from a completely different movie. There's like, are we watching Tequila Sunrise here, or are we watching a stage production of Don Giovanni? It's I don't understand his character in this film. I didn't talk to him about performances because I didn't like this particular character. His performance is fine. I'm sure that it was a screenwriting or a choice or something like that. I just didn't understand this character. To be fair, Robert Towne's writing is great. He is a great writer. He also directed this film, but this is the guy that wrote Chinatown. He wrote the Mission Impossible movies, or at least the first one. I don't know how many of them he wrote, but uh, the dialogue sparkles. Characters don't just talk; they dance through this dialogue. You can tell this script came from a writer who cares about rhythm and subtext. It's really fantastic. Fantastic! Wow, look at that. It's really fantastic to watch these actors just chew into this dialogue. It was written for them by a really good writer, especially scenes between Kurt Russell and Michelle Pfeiffer, um, where they are talking quickly and they're talking through uh, her understanding of his betrayal of her at times, and his trying to win her back, and also his talks about his friend Mel Gibson's character Del McKussic and how she should be wary of him, and she's like, well, shouldn't I be wary of you? And I'm not actually biting into the dialogue here. The dialogue is fantastic in those types of scenes. It's very electric. It feels like you could snap along with it. It's just so quick and so witty and so writerly, coming from a writer. That's really fun to see. Um, so those are the things about Tequila Sunrise that I've mentioned. As far as a final verdict for Tequila Sunrise, it's kind of like cruising in a high-end convertible down the Pacific Coast Highway. It is that beautiful. It is that much fun to go down. The view is stunning. The ride is smooth. The music is perfect. But then you realize you don't really have a true destination in mind, and you're okay with that, at least for a while. It's not a thriller that grips you. It tries to be that kind of thriller. It's not, once again, because you know what's coming. It's not a love story that wrecks you because the stakes aren't as high as you would need it to be. As a cinematic mood piece, it works. Style over substance, definitely. But what a style. So the grade that I'm giving Tequila Sunrise is a solid B. It's more about vibe than content. It's more about watching incredible actors say incredibly silky dialogue while bathed in sunset, uh, rather than unraveling any kind of twisty plot. It's flawed, but it's classy. It's predictable, but it's polished. And sometimes that's all you need. So, do you agree with me? Have you seen Tequila Sunrise? What do you think about what I've said about the style over substance? What's your favorite style over substance movie? The kind that looks so good that you just forgive everything else? Drop it in the comments. I'd like to add some to my watch list. Um, so, like, subscribe, uh, hit the notification bell. Let me know what you think about this movie and this review. Other than that, uh, see you next time.